2016 talked about the racist undertones of the media. You conveniently forget all of that to paint this picture that all was rosy and hunky-dory. Nonsense. And then you are lording over the queen. Listen, by all means, let's applaud the queen when she does something right. But when she does something wrong, we need to call her out.
What does she do wrong?
A royal reckoning, Meghan, Harry, and the global outcry. The world watched in astonishment. Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, sat down with Oprah Winfrey. It was a bombshell interview. She spoke candidly. She shared her truth. Meghan revealed the racism she faced within the British royal family. It was a watershed moment. Dr. Shola Mos-Shogbamimu, a renowned lawyer and activist, emerged as a powerful voice. She fiercely defended Meghan. Dr. Shola condemned the racism directed at the Duchess. She challenged the institution itself. Millions resonated with her message. This was not just about one family, it was about systemic racism. The interview sparked a global conversation. It forced people to confront uncomfortable truths. The world grappled with the reality of racism. It was happening even in the most privileged of institutions. Dr. Shola's voice cut through the noise. She demanded accountability. She called for change. This was more than just a royal scandal. It was a defining moment. The world was watching, listening, and learning. Unveiling the truth, racism, and royal pain. Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah was a revelation. They exposed the dark underbelly of the royal family. Meghan spoke of the relentless attacks she endured. British tabloids hounded her. They printed racist and false stories. The palace did little to protect her. Meghan revealed the mental health struggles she faced. She contemplated suicide. The institution offered no support. She was silenced. She was trapped. Her pain was ignored. The interview revealed a toxic environment. Racism and indifference thrived within the palace walls. It was a stark reminder of the power dynamics at play. The interview shattered the fairy tale image of the royal family. It exposed the human cost of silence and complicity. Meghan and Harry's courage was commendable. They refused to be silenced. Their truth resonated with millions. It was a wake-up call for the world. Clash of Titans, Dr. Shola versus Piers Morgan. The interview ignited a media firestorm. Dr. Shola Mos-Shogbamimu found herself on the front lines. She went head-to-head with Piers Morgan. He was a staunch defender of the monarchy. Their heated exchange on Good Morning Britain became infamous. Dr. Shola refused to back down. She called out Morgan's dismissive attitude. She challenged his denial of Meghan's experiences. It was a clash of ideologies. It was a battle for truth and justice. Millions watched as Dr. Shola dismantled Morgan's arguments. She exposed the hypocrisy of his position. She refused to let him silence her or Meghan's story. This wasn't just a television debate. It was a cultural moment. Dr. Shola's courage inspired many. She became a voice for the voiceless. She spoke truth to power. The world was listening. Meghan's ordeal. A case study in royal racism. Dr. Shola argued that Meghan's treatment was not an isolated incident. It was a symptom of a larger problem. The royal family, she argued, was steeped in colonialism and white supremacy. Meghan's blackness was a threat to this established order. She highlighted the double standards. The media scrutiny of Meghan was relentless. Her every move was dissected and criticized. Yet other members of the royal family escaped such intense scrutiny. The difference? Their race. Dr. Shola argued that Meghan was held to a different standard. She was judged more harshly. She was given less grace. Her blackness was seen as a problem to be managed, not celebrated. The treatment of Meghan exposed the insidious nature of unconscious bias. It revealed the ways in which racism operates in subtle and overt forms. It was a stark reminder that racism is alive and well, even in the 21st century. Section 5. Double standards and media bias, the Duchess, differently treated. The British media played a shameful role in Meghan's ordeal. Tabloids published racist and dehumanizing stories about her. They portrayed her as demanding and difficult. They fueled the flames of hatred and prejudice. Dr. Shola called out this hypocrisy. She pointed to the stark contrast in the media's treatment of Meghan compared to Kate Middleton. Kate, a white woman, was often portrayed positively. Meghan was held to a different standard. This double standard exposed the insidious nature of unconscious bias. It revealed the ways in which the media perpetuates harmful stereotypes. It highlighted the urgent need for greater diversity and representation in newsrooms. Dr. Shola's critique of the media resonated deeply. It forced people to confront their own biases. It sparked a conversation about the role of the media in shaping public opinion. Section 6. A Call for Change. Dismantling the Structures of Prejudice. Dr. Shola's advocacy went beyond simply criticizing the royal family or the media. She issued a powerful call to action. She demanded systemic change. She called for a dismantling of the structures that perpetuate racism and inequality. She challenged the monarchy to confront its own history. She called for a reckoning with its colonial past and its legacy of white supremacy. She demanded a commitment to diversity and inclusion. Dr. Shola's call for change resonated far beyond the walls of Buckingham Palace. It sparked a national conversation about race and identity in Britain. It challenged institutions across society to confront their own biases. This was not just about one family or one institution. It was about creating a more just and equitable society for all. Section 7. Compassion over Crown. The future of the monarchy at stake. The Sussexes' departure from royal life sent shockwaves around the world. It raised questions about the future of the monarchy. Dr. Shola argued that the institution was at a crossroads. It could choose to cling to outdated traditions or embrace change. She argued that true power lay in compassion, not in titles or tiaras. She urged the royal family to learn from this experience. She implored them to listen to the voices of those who had been marginalized and silenced. The monarchy, she argued, had a responsibility to reflect the diversity of the nation it served. It was time for the institution to evolve or risk becoming irrelevant. Dr. Shola's message was clear. The future of the monarchy depended on its ability to embrace change. The world was watching. The choice was theirs. Section 8. Echoes of Empire Unlearning Racism in Britain and Beyond. The Sussexes' story exposed uncomfortable truths about British society. It revealed the enduring legacy of colonialism and the insidious nature of systemic racism. Dr. Shola's voice was a powerful reminder that these issues extended far beyond the royal family. She challenged Britons to confront their own biases. She called for a national reckoning with the country's history. She urged people to actively dismantle the structures of racism and inequality. This was not just a British problem. It was a global issue. Dr. Shola's message resonated around the world. It served as a call to action. It was time to unlearn racism. It was time to build a more just and equitable world for all. The fight for equality continues, but with voices like Dr. Shola's leading the way, there is hope for a brighter future.